Hi there, welcome back to Pit Motoring TV, my YouTube channel. Hope you're all keeping well. Today we're going to be taking a look at Honda's new small coupe SUV offering, the Honda HRV, the new one. Now, as a hybrid, it's very practical. Honda's renowned reliability and this hybrid system that they use, the eHEV, is absolutely brilliant. With the new HRV, they're hoping to offer more electric driving time with this, and so far today that's definitely sung true. Now, the new HRV is going up against rivals such as the Ford Puma, Volkswagen T-Roc, the Nissan Juke, Vauxhall Mocca, but how does it stand compared to those? It's very, very good, but with one big flaw, and I think it's one thing that will affect the popularity of the HRV. So if that's something you like and you like new and used car reviews, then why don't you go ahead and subscribe. So the new design and the exterior of the new HRV, it's very, very nice. Like a lot these days, they're going with the body coloured front grille that flows into the rest of the front end. I really like that. It's really, really nice. You got the flashes of blue around the emblem, obviously because it's a hybrid. Full LED headlights and tail lights with a LED daytime running light. Looks really smart, all lit up nice. So in the new HRV, there's 3 grades available. Starting off, which they're all really well kitted out. Starting off with the base spec Elegance, that comes with a 9-inch infotainment system, heated front seats, reversing camera, and front and rear parking sensors. Then we have the one that we're in today. Oh, and the price of the Elegance is just under 28 grand, which to be fair isn't bad. And for the car and what you get, it's quite a good price. Well matched with its rivals. The mid-range Advance basically comes with the same as the Elegance, but it comes with a heated steering wheel and wireless phone charging inside. Now, the top spec Advanced style, that comes with it's basically more visual upgrades more than anything. You get a different set of style of alloy wheel, and you also get a few different colour options on the interior. Also with the Advance, you get the electronically operated boot, which when we go around the back, we'll take a look at that. So even to the rear, it looks really nice. I like this light bar that goes right the way across. It's really nicely styled. Obviously with the Advance that we're in today, we do have the back pocket, the electronically operated boot. Just put them on the bottom of the key, hold it down, and the boot opens automatically. Now this is where the big flaw is with the new HRV, and that is the size of the boot. It is tiny compared to its rivals. Its rivals such as the Puma and the T-Roc come with over 400 litres, almost 400 litres of boot capacity, whereas this only has 316 litres. Slightly disappointing. It's still practical and usable, but obviously it's not as big as its rivals, and I think that might be a big downer for the HRV. I mean, when we look a bit closer in the boot here, you've got a couple of nice tethering points on the back of the seats, nicely lined. Some storage under the floor, got a nice little deep pocket here. I mean, it's big enough to still get a pram in and use it for your weekly shopping and things like that. And when you fold the 60-40 split rear seats down, with the clever rear seats, it folds flush. So you've got a really nice flat loading area. But I think it's just this that's going to be affecting it the most. I mean, if you opt for the upgraded sound system, it comes with a subwoofer, which then you lose this little corner pocket down here, and it actually loses 10 litres of boot space, so you're only getting 300 litres. But let's check out what it's like in the rear and then jump in the front and we'll have a look around the interior. In the back of the HRV, and it's surprisingly roomy. With the sloping roofline, I thought that the headroom was going to be a bit lackluster, so to speak, but it's not too bad. I mean, I'm not tall, I'm about 5'10", and I've got just enough headroom. If I go to the right, I haven't. I like these little lights in the headlining, but I mean, getting in as well with the sloping roofline, you do have to watch your head a little bit. especially if you're on the taller side. But legroom is excellent. This seat's in my driving position and I've got tons of knee room and I can get my feet under the seats. Middle seat, it's quite narrow, so it might be a little bit uncomfortable for a grown adult in the back here, but because of a low transmission tunnel, you're not going to be up in the fetal position. But practicality wise, for a family, it's ideal. You've got really easily accessible isofix points. You do have in the centre armrest a couple of cup holders, not covered though, but you do get that, and it doesn't affect really when you use it. And down here you've got 2 USB charging ports, which is actually really good to see. I was out in a car the other week and it didn't have any in the back, which quite surprised me. It was the Kia e-Niro. But yeah, so let's jump in the front and we'll take a look up there. So it's up here in the front that I actually really like in the HRV. The dash is super simple, with a mix of obviously digital and analog for the infotainment screen, which similar to I found in the Jazz and the Civic that we've had on the channel before. It's not too bad. They've made improvements to it, but it's still not as good as its rivals. Obviously you've got physical volume button, you've got some shortcut buttons, but obviously I like the sat nav and things like that. But you do get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which, to be fair, I use quite a lot, and it's a lot easier to use and it's a lot better. Dual zone climate control, all physical dials, which is nice. Got a nice cubby down here for your phone with a 12-volt socket. The USB points, I think they're really good, well placed, just above that storage pocket. You've got 2 nice cup holders with a couple of grips, so obviously your bottles aren't going to fly around. One thing that is good in here is the door pockets. The door bins are quite large, so you can fit a nice decent sized bottle in there, which is good. The glove box is a decent size. Storage cubby in the middle, which is a good deep size as well, which is really nice. You get a nice thick steering wheel so you can get a good grip on it, and it does have, let me find the lever, height adjustment and reach as well, so you're bound to find that perfect driving position. Now, with it being the Advance, it is keyless entry and keyless start. A nice little push button start up here. As for the dials, it's a mixture of whoops, turn that off. It's a mixture of part analog and part digital. You have obviously your speed on the left, your revs on the right, a little bit of a display in the middle, obviously displays your mileage, if you're in economy, normal or sport mode. In sport mode, you do find that the steering feel gets a little bit more weight in it, which is nice. You've got some flappy paddles on the back here where you can adjust the strength of the regenerative braking, which is really good. And obviously driving it in B, it's regenerating some of that power back into the batteries. You can get up obviously on there how much power you're regenerating. You can see the nice little crisp digital image of obviously power going into the battery and when you're using EV. But yeah, it's really nice. It's nice and light. You get a good view out from the front. They're not very chunky A-pillars, so you do get a good view. The mirrors are a really good size. You get a good view around everywhere. Looking over the back, the C-pillars are quite chunky, but you do have those little bits of safety kit just to help you out, like blind spot monitoring and rear collision alert, whatever thing it is. But yeah, I mean, very well kitted out, like I said before. You get adaptive cruise control, you've got lane keep assist, you've got automatic brake hold. It's just all basically what's coming in every car lately, but this, even from the base spec, comes kitted out with it from the get-go, which is really nice to see. So there's not much else left to do but take you out for a drive and see how it goes out on the road. So out on the road, the new HRV drives really nice. It's really comfortable. The seats Huggy seats, you don't sit on them, you sit in them. They are really comfortable, and obviously with the height and reach adjustment on the steering wheel, you get that really nice driving position. You've got a quite high up view, so you get a nice view of the road ahead. It's quite a slim windscreen, so obviously you do get a good viewpoint around. Like I said before, the C pillars are quite chunky, so it does restrict the view a little bit. But obviously with the reverse parking sensors and reversing camera, it's not that massively a problem. Now the new HRV shares the same 1.5 litre hybrid that you find in the Honda Jazz and the Jazz Crossstar, but they've given it a bit of a power boost. Rather than it having the 109 brake horsepower that the 1.5 in the Jazz gets, this gets 131 brake horsepower. They were 0 to 60 in 10.6 seconds. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not very quick. It's actually, I wouldn't call it slow, but obviously with the little kick and boost you get from the 2 electric motors, when you're around town especially, you don't notice a difference at all. You can nip in and out of junctions well, and with ease. But obviously getting up to motorway speeds, it might feel a little bit sluggish. The 1.5 litre is good though. I mean, I've found the fuel economy when I've had the Jazz and the Jazz Crossstar previously is really good. They claim around 53 to the gallon, which I can believe it. I mean, so far today while I've been out, obviously I haven't been driving like a granny, been getting around 48 miles to the gallon. In the Jazz Crossstar, obviously if you want to check that review out, check the pop-out banner, that'll appear up there somewhere. But in that I was getting 63 to 65 miles to the gallon out of that. They really are fuel efficient, and obviously Honda have aimed with the new HRV, like I mentioned earlier, to try and get more electric driving time out of the setup, which is pretty true. Obviously in economy, that obviously lessens the throttle response, and obviously just helps to neaten up your driving style, so to speak. There's one problem with the HRV though, and I found the same in the Jazz and the Jazz Crossstar, and that is obviously when you're accelerating. I'm just about to go up a hill, so I'll see if you can give you an example. But under acceleration, this 1.5 litre engine is very loud. It's quite noisy. So obviously when you're accelerating either up a hill or onto a motorway, yeah, you get the gist of it. It is quite loud under acceleration, but obviously just general tootling around, you don't notice it. And most of the time, especially around town, you'll be driving under EV mode, so it's absolutely pure silent. You don't hardly get any motor whine or anything like that. But the big plus of a car like the HRV and the hybrid setup that it's got, you don't have any range anxiety. You're not going to think, oh, I need to charge it because I'm going to run out soon, or anything like that. You don't have to faff around with charging, you don't have to faff around with cables. Obviously it just charges itself from the petrol motor. So I mean, you could easily see 600 plus miles out of a tank of fuel, which is brilliant. So that's all from me today. I hope you enjoyed this review. Obviously, compared to its rivals, a little bit of a summary. I'd pick the HRV. The only problem is the boot, I find. It's not the biggest in its class. Obviously, they all come with similar amount of kit, amount of tech, but just the exterior design and the interior design of the HRV, I actually like it for my personal taste. Everybody's different, so. But I mean, from the base spec at £27,000, just under 28 grand, it's definitely a contender, and it's definitely one that you should add onto a list to check out and obviously take out for a test drive. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a like, a thumbs up, drop a comment below what you think of the HRV, and like with anything, I always appreciate a good old share and everything like that, so share it with your friends and family. But yeah, if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and then you updated and aware when there's a new video out. I try and release videos weekly, but obviously sometimes time frame wise it's a bit tricky around the family. But I hope you're all keeping well. I hope 2022 is going well for you all. So far for me it's going great. So I shall see thee on the next one.